In 2013, a security guard named Thomas Rivera was assigned the night shift at a commercial building scheduled for demolition in downtown Los Angeles. The building was old, poorly maintained, and almost entirely empty after business hours. Only one elevator, Elevator C, was operational at night. Thomas had over a decade of experience. He had worked graveyard shifts in dangerous areas and had never reported fear or hallucinations. His job required him to patrol every floor once per hour. On his fourth night, at approximately 2:17 a.m., Thomas entered Elevator C from the 6th floor and pressed the button for the ground floor. The doors closed, but the elevator did not move. Instead, the digital floor indicator changed from 6 to 7. The building had only 6 floors. Assuming it was an electrical malfunction, Thomas pressed the emergency button. No response. The lights dimmed, and a freezing sensation filled the elevator. The indicator continued. 8, 9, 10. Then his radio activated by itself, emitting loud static mixed with what sounded like slow breathing. The elevator stopped. The doors opened. Beyond them was a narrow hallway that did not belong to the building. Its walls were cracked, stained with dark marks, and lit by flickering fluorescent lights. At the far end stood several human figures facing the wall, completely motionless. Thomas tried to back away, but the doors began to close. At that moment, every figure turned their heads toward him simultaneously. Their faces were blank, no eyes, no mouths. The elevator doors slammed shut and the cabin dropped violently, stopping so abruptly that Thomas collapsed. When the doors opened again, he was on the ground floor. Security footage later revealed something impossible. The elevator never moved from the 6th floor. Thomas was found unconscious at 6 a.m., severely dehydrated and in shock. He claimed he had been trapped for hours. 2 months later, demolition workers discovered a sealed underground corridor beneath the building, matching Thomas's description exactly. Thomas resigned from security work permanently. Story 2. The phone call from the deadline. In 2008, Emily Watson lived alone in a quiet town in Yorkshire, England. She worked late shifts at a hospital and kept to herself. Her life was routine and uneventful. One night at exactly 1:13 a.m., her phone rang. The caller ID showed her own number. Confused, she answered. The line carried heavy breathing and faint crying. She hung up. The phone rang again. Same number. This time, a whisper said, "Don't open the door." Emily checked her house. Everything was locked. No one was outside. The calls continued every night at exactly 1:13 a.m. Sometimes it was breathing, sometimes crying. Once she heard her own voice pleading for help. She contacted the phone company and the police. No technical issues were found. Officers installed a recording device. On the 7th night, the phone rang again. Emily answered while officers listened. The voice said clearly, "You didn't listen." At the same moment, loud banging erupted from her basement door. Police rushed downstairs. The door was splintered inward. No one was there. Emily moved out shortly afterward. Years later, property records revealed that in 1987, a woman named Emily Watson had lived in the same house and had been murdered in the basement after ignoring repeated warning calls. Story 3. The Last Bus Ride. In 1996, a bus route known as Route 375 operated late-night services through rural roads outside Sydney, Australia. Several drivers had complained about strange occurrences, but no official reports were taken seriously. One driver, Mark Lewis, documented everything. On June 14th at around 2:40 a.m., Mark picked up a young woman at an unlit stop. She wore outdated clothing and did not speak. She paid with exact change and sat in the back. Mark noticed she did not appear in the interior mirror reflection. As the bus moved deeper into the countryside, the temperature dropped. The radio failed. The woman remained motionless. Mark called out to her. No response. Suddenly, she stood. In a flat, emotionless voice, she said, This is where I died. The bus brakes failed. The headlights flickered, revealing a crashed bus wreck ahead, burned and abandoned. Mark blacked out. When he woke up, the bus was stopped safely on the road. The woman was gone. Records later confirmed that a fatal bus accident had occurred on that exact road in 1974. Several passengers had died, including a young woman whose description matched perfectly. Route 375 was permanently shut down in 1997 after multiple similar reports. Mark never drove at night again.